Okay, it's not often that I apologize, but I'm going to apologize. Sorry, disorganized. I forgot that I wouldn't be able to do an episode yesterday, and I couldn't do an episode today, this morning on Friday. I had a thing. I had a thing going on yesterday morning at my daughter's school. We had to go. We had to go do a thing where we sat down on the lawn and had a little picnic, and we read. I think it was a chance for the parents to check out the school because we hadn't seen the school because we hadn't had a chance with the lockdown. And then this morning, I had security duty. Ooh, what security duty? I can't really say much, for security reasons. But, Alexa goes to a Jewish school and they want to kill us. People want to kill Jewish people. It's become part of our DNA now. Do you know that? And it's biologically impossible. Biologically impossible for this fear of being killed or being persecuted. I think it's just a figure of speech that it's in our DNA. And one of the reasons why I don't know if this is true, if it's got any validity, but there is this Jewish neurosis. And I think the neurosis is from, they want to kill us. And we looking over our shoulder all the time. Got security at all the synagogues, all the Jewish institutions. Security. Look. I had military training. I got a bit of military training, but they weren't interested in my military training. They found out I was just a kosher chef. It turns out. I told them, this is a thing that I tell people. I said I killed 6 Cubans who tried to break into the kosher kitchen. The one time, but it's just a joke. I'm trying to give some kind of military, give myself some kind of military credibility. But anyway, there's other security. There's a security company. There's a Jewish security organization. There's also a private. There's 3 different securities, making sure everything's okay. I don't know. I got my own theories. I think the school should be camouflaged. It shouldn't say there shouldn't be the Jewish Star of David. Take it away. In fact, I would even suggest put up a cross, make it look like it's a Christian school. Hey. Maybe do a bit of neo-Nazi insignia, I'm not saying go as far as putting a swastika. This is a Nazi school because that'll just draw too much attention. But maybe just disguise the school. Yeah, just a thought. Look. I'm not going to actually suggest it. Just be grateful that they allow my child to attend the school because, Jewish community doesn't like me. Anyway, long story. Won't go into it now. So, that's why I didn't do the show. I call it the podcast. So here I am now, eh? I was thinking about death today and dying. A friend of mine, her mother's not doing so well. But on a positive note, I just, I know you might be on medical aid and I'm on medical aid and people who've been on medical aid their whole lives. Let's call them white people. If you suddenly, for whatever reason, you no longer can have medical aid, just some good news. The public hospitals, Edenvale Hospital, for example, I'm getting very good reports of Edenvale Hospital. They've been very thorough. In fact, they found things that her private GP didn't find. The nurses were very nice. Only negative is apparently the food's not good. But you know what? If you with one foot in the grave and the other foot's on a banana peel and you're lying in bed, you know what? You don't need Michelin star cuisine. The last thing on your mind, quite frankly, is the food. And you know what? Between you and me, you could lose a bit of weight. No harm. Yeah, look. I don't want to be. Yeah. So that's the good news. Okay. Ooh, I know this is an old story already, but while I'm on the old Jewish thing, wasn't it? What was people are still talking about this. What was Julius Malema talking about the other day? He was in Cape Town. I don't know who he thinks his audience is. Well, I suppose he's talking to a crowd of people, but obviously he knows that it's going to go on TV, it's going to go on social media. I vaccinated, he's talking about the vaccination for COVID-19. I vaccinated because I saw the Jews, the Jewish people being vaccinated. The Jews don't play with their lives. EFF leader, that's what Julius Malema said. The Jews don't play with their lives. I don't know where Julius Malema was coming from. I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't even know if Julius Malema has ever met a Jew. Well, he has, because I know he's met me. But I didn't say, hi, I'm Damon the Jew. I said, hi, I'm Damon, I'm Gareth Cliff's producer. He came, Gareth interviewed Julius once at 5FM and once at Cliff Central, and I was there. But I didn't say, hi, I'm Damon the Jew. In fact, I've never said to anyone, hello, I'm Damon the Jew. Never. But I've got to be honest with you. Whenever I walk into a room, I always think, like, people are thinking, there's the Jew. I can't help it. I can't. And there it goes to that thing that I was talking about just now. The persecution is in our DNA. Can't help it. And what's his name? Howard Feldman. He wrote a column in this week's Jewish Report. Yes, you can get the Jewish Report. It's online. It's online. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to get the action. It's online. Jewish Report. So Howard Feldman, he wrote quite an interesting. Was a nice analysis about what Julius Malema said, and I quite agree with him. And the gist of it was, yes, Julius. Funny enough, you're 100% correct. We don't play with our lives. We're an endangered species. We're an endangered species. Think about it. We're like the coelacanth. We're like that last dodo that fell off the cliff. The last breeding pair of dodos. That's us. We're an endangered species. Genetic pool not so great. Yeah. So yeah, we don't play with our lives, and because of the history of the persecution, and do we value life more seriously than other people? Now that I wouldn't say that. Let's not compare. But anyway, I don't know why Julius Malema said they don't play with their Jews don't play with their lives. I don't know why Julius Malema said that. Somebody said it was anti-Semitic. You see, it's all about context. What did Julius Malema say beforehand? And I missed all that. Some people, and it's just hearsay. People said that we run everything. He said that we run everything. Jews run everything, but I don't know if he actually said that. I don't know if he said that. Because let's face it, we don't run everything. Thank God. We couldn't handle this. Couldn't handle the stress, quite frankly. Don't forget we're neurotic. You want us to be in charge of everything? Yeah. Enough already. So, the Quinton de Kock thing it's come and gone. I mean, I missed my episode yesterday, and I missed my episode this morning. It seems like I've missed the boat. I've missed the story. But people are writing big analysis articles. I've read about 2 or 3 analyses. What's the plural of analysis? Analyses. Anyway, yeah, people have taken interesting takes on it. My initial gut feel was, you know what? Quinton de Kock's apology and his reasoning were kind of didn't make sense. It was kind of illogical, but you know what? Let's just forget about it. Whatever, the end, what's the expression? The end justifies the means. He's back in the team. Everyone's happy. His teammates seem happy with him. Cricket South Africa seem happy. So apparently they had a meeting, obviously a Zoom meeting. The Cricket South Africa board and the players and the team, they all had a meeting. Apparently tears were shed. So Quinton de Kock basically said he's not a racist. He supports everyone being treated the same. He understands the history of our country. In fact, he said he comes from a mixed-race family. He has a black stepmother and he has coloured half-siblings. Well, that doesn't mean you're not a racist. I mean, I never spoke to my sister, my one sister, for 10 years, and she's white. So I didn't talk to her for 10 years. So by that reasoning, maybe I don't like white people. No, maybe that doesn't make sense. That doesn't really, it doesn't really make sense. It's like the slave owners who had sex with some of the slaves and had coloured children. They were still racist. They still treated them as inferiors, and they were still slaves. Yeah. Anyway, so his reasoning didn't really make sense because Cricket South Africa, apparently the team had before they went off to the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, which is now in United Arab Emirates. They had all these discussions about culture, about this and that. Cricket South Africa maybe didn't handle it well. They didn't foresee that they'd be watching the TV and this Rahmanis on Saturday, just 4 players on their knee. The rest of them, the one guy's got his fist raised, the other guy's got his hands behind his back. The guys that are taking the kneel happen to be not white, except one guy was white. So it shows polarity. It shows like a polarity in the team. There isn't unity in the team. So then Cricket South Africa gave the directive, you've got to take the knee. So Quinton de Kock's reasoning is he doesn't like to be told what to do. That was his reasoning. I don't like to be told what to do. But you know what taking the knee is. It's a gesture of support for anti-racism. You are acknowledging there must not be racism in sport. So surely that not that movement, but because it doesn't have to be about Black Lives Matter. You may not like Black Lives Matter. You might think they're violent and they're this and they're corrupt. It can just be about the gesture. Surely the gesture of showing solidarity for Black people in sport and everywhere, it would be a more powerful and more important point than don't tell me what to do. So anyway, let's leave Quinton de Kock for now. Let's hope we can just move on. Interesting experience with now, how are these white people? So certain white people, I noticed, obviously I can only talk about Twitter, the way they reacted when Quinton de Kock when it all first came out that he wasn't taking the knee and he didn't play against the West Indies. Yes, Black Lives Matter is Marxist and it's rubbish. What about white farmers and his body? He can choose what he wants to do. Yada 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 yada. So they all took this angle that Quinton de Kock is against, has no sympathy and doesn't recognize that Black people have been victims of racism. Don't mix sport and politics. Now the guys who don't mix sport and politics. How ridiculous is that? So I pointed this out to people. I said, wait a second. During the days of apartheid, Black people were not allowed to play sport with white people. They had to form their own separate sports organizations. So there was a coloured cricket team or an Indian cricket team. You couldn't play in the national cricket arena. So, yes, the apartheid regime brought politics into sport. So you can't have politics in sport discriminated against Black people. But then years later, you can't have it both ways and turn around and say don't mix politics and sport. Politics has always been involved with sport. But here is the thing with these people who with this mentality. I think they're just very stupid and they're very, very ignorant. And they just don't care. Because when I point this out to them, I don't give a crap what you think. Like, what kind of an argument is that? I don't give a crap what you think. So I haven't seen what their responses are in the last day and a half, since Quinton apologized and gave his Rachmanis weird explanation, because his explanation was, don't tell me what to do. He wasn't going along with this imaginary white persecution complex. So I can't tell you what these same people are saying now because I blocked them all. I just blocked them all. I couldn't. What is the point? You're arguing with people, you're telling them that the earth is round or spherical. They're telling you the earth is flat. You can't deal with these people. You just got to move on. Yeah, so it's been quite something. While I'm on this whole subject of just dealing with stupid people, just wow. So some of the universities in South Africa, I don't know if all of them or some of them, have made it mandatory. If you're going to go to varsity next year, you got to have the vaccine against COVID-19. So some father, he laments on Twitter, my son is now going to be excluded from UCT, and he's been accepted to study actuarial science. Now he cannot do his studies and live his dream because they say he has to have the vaccine. So I replied, well, what's the problem? Just tell him to get the vaccine. What's the problem? Just get the vaccine. Wow, people exploded. It's his body. He's got every right to. What about they talk about side effects. What about the side effects? People went on about people have died from the vaccine. Then somebody went on about, look what happened in 1930. So I think it was in 1930. So I'm imagining, okay, they must be talking about Hitler. So I responded, 1930? Adolf Hitler came to power in 1933. The laws, the anti-Jewish laws came about quite a bit later. Kristallnacht. I doubt these people have ever heard of Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht was around the 8th or 9th of November 1938, where Jews were attacked in Berlin and their shops were looted and people were murdered and beaten up very, very badly. That was like the start of the major violence and persecution of the Jews, leading up to World War II, which started in 1939, 1st of September. Now, what's really... These people, who write things like this, they just don't know basic things. They just don't know basic things. It's mind-boggling. And they carry on up. People have died of the vaccine. The vaccine doesn't work, they say. So I just give the facts. I try to keep calm. I say the vaccine does work. I just explain. Yes, it does. It will prevent you from getting symptoms, or very bad symptoms, or reduces your chance of hospitalization, and makes it very unlikely for you to die of COVID-19. So somebody responds something along the lines of, well, so much for your grandiose comments. What about grandiose? I'm just giving the facts. Anyway, we are doomed. There are just too many idiots like this that are just not doing the vaccine. And then this father treats me back, the one whose son can't go and study actuarial science. I think you need to take a long, good, hard look at yourself. If you think that it's, if you think it's okay that my son has to throw away his dreams. So I said, he just needs to take the vaccine. The vaccine works. I may have said you're stupid. Okay, I did say you're stupid to a lot of people. I did. I can't help it. I can't help it. Anyway, it's been a very Jewish show. I admit that. I'll Jew it down next time, so to speak. Only I'm allowed to say things like that. Eh? Don't you go down. Don't you go around and use that expression with other people. Only I'm allowed to say that. Jew it down. Okay. See, it's where it comes from. You see, you know me, so you know I'm not being offensive. If you hear someone else say something like that, you can be offended. It's offensive. So it's all about context. It's all about knowing the person. You know, like I explained with the whole Gareth Cliff spiel. But we're not going to talk about him. We're not going to talk about Gareth for now. Let's leave him alone. Anyway, hope you have a good weekend. What can I say?